Welcome to this week's episode of the Compliance Digest, presenting topics on all things compliance related. My name is Alex Krenke, and joining me this week is Jennifer Greene, the Manager of New Business Development at Quest CE. Jenny, welcome back.
Thanks, Alex.
So today we want to talk about an article that we found in Investment News that had a really gripping title. It's called Wholesalers, the Spies of Wall Street. We read it, thought that it portrayed wholesalers in a very negative light. So we want to talk about that today, talk about the article, what they covered, and then talk about our own experience with wholesalers as it is much different. So Jenny, if you could just run through what the article covered.
Sure. You're right on. The article did paint the wholesalers very negatively. They're as the spies of Wall Street. Mm-hmm. That to get in with certain branches or certain branch managers, they share all this hushed conversations, something like some good juicy gossip that an advisor might be unhappy at a firm and could be a good recruiting lead for another firm, or something, changing at a branch that might affect another competitor. Firms really frown against this, so it was interesting to see that this article popped up the way it did.
Exactly, and this, again, was an extremely negative light. It did not really touch upon other ways that wholesalers can get into branches and gain information and gain trust. So talk about our experience with wholesalers.
We work with wholesalers in a completely different function in the fact that we get them approved as instructors to teach CE, continuing education, to financial advisors. It's a different way to bring a relationship up, to foster that relationship by providing lunches, educational events, providing CE to a financial advisor will actually develop a really good, strong, long-lasting relationship. So it was interesting to see how some of the advisors, some of the wholesalers in the article were instead sharing secret information to gain these relationships.
One of the things that this article covered, which is important to note, is, we shouldn't be naive. We should be aware that you may have some of the best programs in place to prevent this type of spying and sharing of secret information, but plan for the worst. So if you do work in a compliance department, how should you be preparing and best protecting your firm against information leaks like this?
I think it's good practice, especially as new wholesalers come on board, is to, explain to them this conversation does happen. What is your policy with that communication? What is the firm's stance? How that could affect the firm's brand or reputation? And, remind them of that, set those policies, and, stay on top of that with the wholesalers.
I think that's really good information to pass along. And what we always say is, we look at our own clients, and we really do love our clients and think they have a really good reputation and strong products in the industry. But one of the best ways to prevent this type of negative behavior and spying and sharing of information is to offer alternatives so that your wholesalers don't have to do this. A great way to do this would be offering continuing education programs. So if they want to gain access to a branch, they don't have to go in and try to snipe for information. They can just share their education and pass along these insurance credits.
Yeah.
So be aware that this type of behavior is out there. Do the best you can to protect your firm, have policies in place, but also offer alternatives. And that's really the message we want to pass on today. So Jenny, I do want to thank you for sitting down and joining me and talking about wholesalers and the spies of Wall Street, helping to dispel any rumors that are out there and shed some good light on wholesalers.
Yeah, thank you.
And I want to thank you for joining us. We'll see you again in another couple of weeks for another episode of the Compliance Digest.